persons I met in my life. Loïc is the founder of Le Web, the #1 internet conference of Europe. It's held in Paris every December. But he also, he's a serial entrepreneur. He also held a Sarkozy presidential campaign. And once Sarkozy won, instead of staying in Paris, he decided to move with all his family to Silicon Valley. And it's also incredible that he moved in he's a pilot too. So he moved in his plane from Paris to Silicon Valley, going all around the north. It takes like 2 weeks to reach San Francisco. So he's a very talented, a great guy, a good friend, and he will give us our next keynote session. Thank you so much, Loïc Le Meur.
Hello, Pablo. Hello, thank you. I'm really thrilled to be here, and congratulations to Pablo, to everyone for organizing La Red. I think we needed this in Spain, and it's fantastic to put it together. Let's see if my presentation is. I can sing it otherwise. Okay. Well, I'll let them set up, and I will start with the slides. So, a lot of familiar faces see you. It's very good to see you again. Pablo asked me to talk about how you can create a brand online and create, like, launch your brand that can be you. That's what Pablo wanted. Or a product. So I make it a little broader, and I try to get you into what I think are the most important trends right now. It would be much better with my Mac, obviously, running, but if not, that's okay. I can totally sing it. All right, so I'll sing it. So one of the rare ways that I do slides, I never do slides. Today I have slides, and they don't work. So I think the world has changed dramatically since the blogging phenomenon started, and it's becoming totally different now to communicate online. And the one thing that doesn't work very well anymore is PR and marketing. And I generally say that it actually doesn't work at all. And I think the best way to create a brand online and to have an audience, plenty of you know how to do that here, is really to have a community around you. Is really to focus on few people more than having a big audience. And the way I do it is really trying to completely focus on this. So we had on Seesmic, my company, the biggest PR you could dream of. We had the entire Indiana Jones team on Seesmic, Steven Spielberg on Seesmic for half an hour in Cannes, and that's like huge PR, right? We got, I think it was one of the main headlines at least of Silicon Valley for 1 or 2 days, and we got literally millions of people coming to the site. And what happened is it went up, millions, and then in 2 days it died. And that's what PR and marketing does, is it creates very, very short amounts of people coming in a very short time, but then they disappear. So that's not what I focus on these days. And I think what matters the most is your friends. What matters the most is to have a few people around you that can drive, that can help in a way that is permanent, that is not a few days, that is not even a few months. I'm so tired, and you guys, bloggers in this room, I'm sure know what I mean when I say that you get like press releases all day long, which are, can you blog about this? Can you talk about this? If you're a journalist, it's the same. Can you talk about this? And it's like, why? Why would I? And if you do, you don't create anything. So my point is create on the long run. This is brand new Mac, of course. create on the long run and don't focus too much on PR. So how you do that, I advise you really to actually read a book which is from Seth Godin called Tribes, which is very good on that. He says, he quotes a web page which says, you don't need many fans, you need 1,000 fans. That's all. That's all you need. You need 1,000 people around you. You don't need millions of people of audience to launch a small site, like Chataka, for example, to launch a brand, to launch a product. You don't need many means anymore. Why? Because if you have this community, then you can talk about it, and they can help you at the very beginning. And what he says is that most banks can actually make a living from these 1,000 fans as well. And not make huge numbers, but create something which is the basis of a company. I'll just forget my slides. That's okay. As you can see, I have it in my heart. So the question is how you gather those people and how you do it. And that's a question I'm asked also very often. I think you have to share as if we were having lunch. I'm becoming famous from having lunch with especially Mark Larrington of TechCrunch, which was a big PR thing actually last year at the web. But I think it's very important to not talk only about the product. Like if I started explaining you now my product only, you would hate me. Because that's not interesting. What's interesting is if I can share something with you that you will learn something from. And I'm not sure I can manage this, but I will try. And so create value. So for example, yesterday I was on top of this hotel where they have the speakers, which is very nice. What is the name? Oscar Hotel? Where it says, you want to sleep with me? The big, I forgot what it is. Anyway, they have this terrace with everybody laying on beds, very nice. And I modeled this, I put this on my Twitter, saying, wow, in Madrid, life is very stressful, obviously as a job. And that picture got like 600 views and got some traction and retweets. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, is I know from this community, many people really are business people, but they will smile by seeing this. And my Madrid friends probably will smile too, because, I don't get that in San Francisco. And that's what I mean. If you talk about your product all day long, it simply doesn't work. So, here's an example of something brand new that is coming in San Francisco, that I think you should start here. Very fun. It's called the food cart movement. Who knows the food cart movement? No, good, so I can still one. So here's the principle. That was my first slide. So I cannot show you the guide, but you can go to twitter.com/crème brûlée cart. I have difficulties to say French names with an American accent or English accent, but it's very simple. They post a tweet that they are on the street, like 22nd and Guerrero in San Francisco, that here they would say, I'm in this place in Madrid. They just tweet, one tweet. And up to 500 people showed up in Los Angeles to go and eat what they have. So it's a food cart, so they could do that here. You guys really should start that. I guarantee you success. Very simple. You go and you have a cart, and this guy does crème brûlée. There is a Korean barbecue. There is like all types of food, and it's all it's all hidden. It's all on Twitter. They actually have secret accounts as well, and they tell you all day long where they are. So, for example, there would be one here which would say, "Here I am in this place," and you would have like 20 people leave and get it. And so it's like the real-time e-commerce which is starting. It's like right now I want Korean barbecue or I want tapas right now, just outside. And some of them have like hundreds of people showing up. So much that the police in San Francisco started following them on Twitter. Because you need to pay $10,000 license to be able to sell food in the street in the US. So the police started to follow them, and as they followed them, they had to create secret accounts to not get that. So what's my point here? You probably smile, but what is he talking about? 500 people, who cares about the crème brûlée and so on? And actually, I think it's amazing that the guy with the cart has 3,000 followers. 3,000 people. So he has a tribe. He has a little tribe around himself that help follow, buy food, and it grows. And you should see, actually, all the newspapers are talking about that because it's one of the new things of e-commerce, which is growing through Twitter. So that's my point. It's fun. It's not talking about the product, and it's about having real fans. 1,000 is a good number around your community or your brand. And so then the tools. Very, very good news, right? It used to be extremely difficult in the... that's not my computer. I don't see this on my screen. I'm so happy that happened just for me. Thank you. It's great. It lets me have fun with the stage. So there is the tools. That's the good news. The good news, it was extremely hard to write. I don't know, I'm not a journalist, but I see my friends journalists writing a piece for El País or for other titles. They work a lot. They have to check facts and so on. It can take a lot of time. But the blogs, we were like, oh, anybody can be a source, but it still takes time. A blog, if you want to be really good at it, it takes a lot of time. And now the good news is it's so easy. You can just, share all day long on Facebook, and we'll have a panel that is just going to follow this, and Twitter, and other social software, and just keep in touch with your community. Why is this growing? It's very simple. People want to stay in touch with their friends in real time. And so we call it there a lot the real-time web. It's a new buzzword. And this real-time web for me exists just because we really want to be in touch with our friends. So what are the tools? Why do the tools don't matter that much, right? Twitter is as simple as possible. What I suggest is really to don't use 50 social software, but use a few very well. So don't do crap everywhere, but really good on a few. I think is a good advice because I see so many people who try to be everywhere. And so what I do, and which worked very well for us, is we have obviously a Twitter account, we have a Facebook page, we have just launched a naming site, which is really a community. Some people would love that because there are forums. It's Seesmic.com, and there are forums in there. There are very 1995-ish. Features. And it works very well. We got 600 members the day we launched it. And it keeps people together. So the Facebook page, I really advise you to do it. I didn't have a Facebook page. Now I have one. I'm lucky. I have facebook.com/Loïc and Seesmic. I show off a little bit. And by updating it as much as Twitter, I'm getting now as many replies from Facebook as I'm getting from Twitter. Which is really a surprise for me. I didn't think I would get that. And then just email. We launched so in this idea of being very close to your most important friends in your community, we launched just a mailing list. And that's something that also looks very boring. But we have 50,000 people that want our product before anyone else. It's called Team Seesmic, and we just launched a release of Seesmic Desktop. If you don't know what that is, I would have loved to show you. But it lets you have Twitter and Facebook and manage it very well into one screen. We got 1.6 million downloads. We're getting right now 10,000 downloads a day from all around the world. We're getting one mention in average every minute of both our products, and zero marketing. So that's the point of my talk, is to say, in fact, marketing really, really sucks. It's probably the worst way to get your product across, and PR is the worst way to get. Generally, I have PR agencies in the room who are really so happy and clear when I say these things, but I think it's the worst way to get across and create a community around you, because it creates a peak and then it disappears. So on the contrary, you really want long term. What you want as well to build a community is, and launch your startup, launch your product, is, I think, changed a lot since this new real-time web has been started. Basically, you need to launch as soon as possible. As soon as you have something which is usable. So define an empty space. Define a need. Here, in our case, the need is very simple. People are really tired of having to check all those places, so we put it all in one screen. Very simple. And then launch it. And when you launch it, you get feedback. That's entirely true with Twitter. You get a live focus group, if you want, that companies used to pay fortunes to get this feedback for free, and in real time, every single minute. And so, send it as soon as possible. My friend and investor, Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn, says something I think very, very smart. He says, when you launch your product, if you are not ashamed of it when you launch, like really ashamed, you launch too late. And I think it's very true. You really need to send it, to ship it as soon as possible, because then you get feedback, you get a community, and you can get into a dialogue, but then you need to keep, it's like a garden. A community you cannot create. It happens or it doesn't. And if it does happen, it's because you have cultivated it, created it like a garden. So when Pablo said, come and explain how you did it, well, there's no secret sauce. Is how do you get followers on Twitter, on Facebook, and so on? How do you, it's super easy, you know that very well, of course. Oh, here we go at the end. You get, yeah, I'll show you a few things and then we'll go to the panel. But what you get is a very, very loyal base of users. So I'm going to go very fast. Oh, it's not up there. Can I have it up there? Por favor, I can see it here. No? Okay. That's okay. Yeah, whatever. So, I was almost done anyway. It's here, but it can't be there. So anyway, and so what we do is we use, oh wow! So this is my creme brulee card, the guy with creme brulee. 3,000 followers on Twitter. Ask me how he gets that, and I can tell you by show up. See, but hundreds of people coming just to get the food in a garden. Someone should do this in Madrid. I really tell you, if it does not exist. So that's an interesting one where you can see here, it's like, I don't want to do the entire presentation because we need to move to a panel, but you can see it's a very interesting site where you can see the evolution of the media and newspapers and radio and television being like replaced in a way by, I know I will be popular with this here, but obviously websites and blogs and social networks, but what you learn is that they all kind of disappear anyway. So blogs is almost passé already, right? We've been pioneering this together because I see many bloggers here. But right now, someone like Ashton Kutcher can get 2 million followers without the blog. 2 million. When he posts something on his Twitter account, he has more juice than any of us in this room with just one link. Right? So you don't need a blog anymore. If you have a community, obviously he's a celebrity, but you get the point. Social software can be much more powerful as a newspaper, just with a link. So what your friends really matter. And so yeah, what I wanted to tell you is that, so we created this with absolutely zero marketing on the web. 2,000 people show up. I really hope to join us in Paris in December. It's the web.net, but 40 cafes, zero marketing. Absolutely nothing, just word of mouth. In fact, we don't do any marketing because if we did, or if we had salespeople, even worse, we would get boring people. So we really want you. We really want this type of crowd in Paris. And that's all a community. That's all that is. It's a real community which is happening all year long. This is Seesmic, but I need to go fast. So I have a joke here which is very easy to share, right? Right now, these days, you don't have to blog. And there are very few places where you can do it. And I have a map of social software conversation by Brian Solis, which shows you all these 50 places where you could share. And my advice is don't do that. Don't share in all those networks. First, because half of them will die. Because that's just the way startups operate. And two, you don't have to. Same with Twitter. This is the startup sphere around Twitter. And same with Google for the Twitterverse of China. It's huge. Most of them will also disappear. I have not mapped, but most of them will disappear. But you can also try all those tools. That's what we use. And just to finish with, I was there actually on the feedback part. You really, really need to ship as soon as possible your product. And even if you get 10 friends, 50 friends helping you, it's enough to start. Because like most entrepreneurs tell me, how do you, if you don't have 10,000 followers, it doesn't work. That's all wrong. You need 10 people who are really committed. Look at, again, Red Innova, for example, they started the day at, one, Julio, and then many others, and so on. And listen to everything that's being said about you. You're the most important person in the world, in your world. And then listen to your brand. So search for brand on Twitter. It's amazing. If people don't talk about your brand on Twitter, it means there's a problem. That it's either dead or going to die, or it has not born yet. You could see what happened in Iran, that people publish so much, but you have to have some word of mouth around you, or it's a product which has no virality, no function. Then there are tools which are not very much used here in Europe. I thought, yeah, that's another opportunity, but if you want to start a company, I always, as my gift, generally try to give you ideas, but get satisfaction and user voice, that's what we use. This is a forum which is like big, where people can say anything about you, they can give suggestions, and then they vote. And I call this the public roadmap, because they tell you what they think you should do. And you remember this time when everything was confidential, you could not share a business plan, sign a non-disclosure agreement, don't share your idea, you will steal my idea. This is all done, then. Here they tell you what they do. So my company, I know what my people want to do here, right now, and I just try to do it as best as I can. So it's user voice, very good company, we are friends. And yeah, I have to go through that. Here what I say is just as a conclusion, actually. And we can call the pattern. So the new customer is very, very different than it used to be in this new world. This new customer, I was very organized. I even had the remote control. Here we go. It works at the end. So what the new customer wants is they want everything for free. This is not new, right? We all want everything for free. But there is new things around that. They want no advertising because it's intrusive, so free, no advertising. Great. If you suck, I tell everyone, this is one of our products, Twill. So Twill is blowing the shit out of me. So they tell everyone. Imagine someone with a few followers saying that to everyone. It's not very good. So my point is, you should answer. We have one person full-time, only answering Twitter, full-time. And me, you'll find me at 2 a.m. answering myself a lot, as much as I can. But if someone criticizes, it's a compliment. It's someone that you should really pay attention because it means they care about you, even if it's bad, negative, and answer. This is a new form of customer service which is growing, entirely new, where we used to hide the problems, right? Here, what you want to hide. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And you have to answer, deal with it in public, and be transparent and honest in a way which has never happened before. They have no loyalty. They can switch to competition in a second, and they tell everyone as well if they do. They want everything 24 hours a day. It's amazing. It's real time. They want real-time customer service, even from a startup like us. I was insulted once. It happens quite often, actually, by someone who that we didn't get back in less than an hour at 2 a.m. San Francisco time on Twitter. Free product, no advertising. And he really he was really strong. It's like this is the worst customer service ever. I will never use the product anymore. It's like free, 2 a.m. public. You're like, give me a break. It's very interesting. There is good news that it's the same for everyone. And sometimes you have positive factors too. So Stovall saying to 150,000 people that he likes what you do is something very interesting. So my last slide, and we can move to a panel. What I learned is you have to get closer to your real fans. You don't have to care about getting 1 million people or a nice article in El Mundo. That doesn't help. Even on TV. It's great for your ego, you'll be happy for one day. It doesn't help. Now getting close to 1,000 people, talking to them daily, like I do, daily, that changes everything because you have 1,000 people who really help. Ship as soon as possible. Send a product, whatever it is, a brand, a new site, whatever. Ship it as soon as you possibly can. Get your public roadmap executed, so use one of those sites or build it yourself where people can leave feedback, read Twitter, categorize it, be transparent. If you have an issue, don't say no, it's wrong, acknowledge it obviously. And also I've never criticized your competition with which I never do. Obviously don't forget to innovate. And done with that, we're moving to a panel which will be interesting with Facebook, with Sonico, and with MySpace.